No, it's Ruby Gillman.
Surprise! It's a bomb! Greetings, and welcome to DreamWorks! Starring a happily employed photographer formerly getting by on DoorDash, a disgruntled extras having written Scott Pilgrim fan fiction, and a spineless asthmatic 29-year-old curmudgeon sweeping movie theaters for
really
a living.
29 now?
Yep. I'm the same age as Jake was when he got married.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
You were 29?
I think I trust
Yeah,
Jake's...
you turned 30 at the end of the year.
Oh, damn, you're right. I hate when you're right.
Oh, my God. I think I trust Jake, but I guess never mind. No.
Nope. Never trust me. When
It's hard because he's only the age that he turns that year for like 2 weeks.
Yep.
That's a good point. That would be confusing.
But today, we're talking about the latest DreamWorks movies in our return to the series, and oh boy,
Does anybody watch this?
Yeah.
If we did the Shrek 3 episode, I feel like it's going to be kind of like that.
Yeah. We're talking about Ruby Gillman, Teenage Kraken.
Again, did anybody see that?
Yeah. After a
I mean,
pretty...
we did.
We
So
had
they made
to see
at
it.
least $30.
Oh, real quick, who was in the theater by themselves? Raise your hand.
I was almost.
Oh, wait, no. There was a 4 or 5 people behind me.
I was all by myself.
I was all by myself until just before, like, right after the trailer start, or like right before the movie actually started. 2 people walked in.
Point being, there were like 8 people in all 3 of our showtimes combined.
Yep.
This movie made like $5 million its opening weekend. It was not marketed well. It's the first of 2 DreamWorks movies coming out this year. The other one is going to be Trolls Band Together in November.
The epic ending of the trilogy.
Yep, and I hate when he uses it. But after a pretty great year last year for DreamWorks, having The Bad Guys and Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, I was actually curious to see how this movie would go because it kind of popped up out of nowhere.
How'd that go for you?
There's a reason why when it popped up, it's like, oh, why haven't I heard about this?
There's a reason why.
Do you think they tried to hide it? Probably.
Here's a real question. Do you think it's made by the A team or the B team?
I think this is a C team.
It's their first movie. Well,
was-
movie.
It's long enough. That's it technically.
It's 90 minutes, almost exactly.
What a movie!
Don't you
yeah.
have a synopsis for it?
Yeah,
that's the Binder era. We're
No,
post
that's
Binder
just-
era.
Or
Right.
post
This is
Binder.
PBE.
Well, why don't you just roll something off the top of your head?
Okay, Ruby Gillman
Surprise.
is a teenage Kraken posing as a human because people can't tell that she has blue skin
No, obviously.
and weird
Or
ears.
tentacles.
But she's
Tentacles.
Canadian, that's why.
But she's Canadian, eh?
I mean, that makes sense.
And she
She's not
finds
on fire.
out
That doesn't make sense.
she finds out she's a princess to like a Kraken kingdom thing, and she grows really big and destroys a
Mighty-
library, and all kinds of stuff happens,
Like
and
a Mighty
kaiju
Morphin
fight the
Power
end.
Ranger. Literally like a kaiju from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Yep.
Yeah, so it is a movie that I wouldn't say has many twists and turns, more like just has many, and none of the many develop into anything. None of the many develop into any.
There you go.
So that's the gist of the movie. It's just kind of
Dumb.
Boring.
yeah.
It's not good.
I did
not
fall
that.
asleep a little bit.
Oh, I almost fell asleep too. I was
Like-
I was in those comfy recliners, but I was like,
No, so like legit, when we saw it earlier this week, I had just gone over to the east side for a couple of days, and I saw it immediately after driving back from St. Clair Shores.
Oh boy.
And so I was like, oh wait, no, I gotta watch this. Oh wait, no, I gotta watch this.
It's a bomb.
Stop! What pains me is that they had something very, very interesting.
They could have gone a couple interesting ways with it. They could have.
Like we say, it's like we've said off camera, it's diet turning red.
Yep.
Yeah, it really, really is.
For me personally, I know that I'm not the demographic for either of these. I think potentially I could have connected more with this than Turning Red, because for me it felt less linked to a specific like real thing that happens, and just more, you know, you feel like a monster, you feel like you stand out in a crowd, and you don't like that when you're in high school. And the way her mom calms her down from that, I connected with more than I did in the first act of Turning Red, where I felt like, oh, she's, you know, trying to get her to hide this. Mm-hmm. And whereas Kraken mom, I don't remember her name.
Agatha.
Was it?
Mm-hmm.
Agatha was like, this is a thing, you have to deal with it. You're not gonna get rid of it, but it won't stay around. Like, you're not gonna be like this forever now. And I think I connected to that part of it more, and then it just nosedived after that.
Yeah, I think thinking about this like on the drive over, because I literally watched this movie today before I drove here to film this.
Yeah, guys, Dickey's very bad at setting his alarm.
Yeah, I slept right through. Well, it doesn't help when you work night shift.
I know it doesn't.
Sleep is like all around. I did set my alarm, but I woke up.
Did you wake up to it?
I woke up for like a minute, and then I was like, and I just fell asleep again.
Wait, what was that?
I was like,
you should set your alarm like I do. It automatically plays an Arcade Fire song.
Mine plays.
Guess what song it plays to wake me up?
Which one?
Wake Up.
Of course. But no, regardless, about this movie, I was thinking about, I really do think it just prioritized cool, quote-unquote, cool, big, lights, plot stuff, and didn't focus on the characters, because... Shut up. Because, like, for Turning Red...
It's called a Triton.
It's hard not to relate this to Turning Red, because it is so similar.
Isn't this, like, the third movie this year we've gotten with a Trident in it? Second.
Yeah, because Little Mermaid remake, yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was the biggest issue. It just, the characters just did not connect with me at all. They were very basic.
Well, I mean, hardly any of them had any more lines than 3.
Mm-hmm. It sets up a movie that is functioning like a diet Turning Red. It has an interestingly designed little seaside town. An interesting thing about their hiding in plain sight. It has a friend group that she hangs out with that I was actually wanting more from. I was like, this can actually work. There's a chemistry. And she has good chemistry with that boy she likes.
Connor, yeah.
Yeah, and they don't do anything. Nothing.
They focus more on her turning into...
a Kraken.
Yeah.
Which she, like, and then, she destroys the library. She has the calm down scene. It's like, I'm liking how this is progressing. I think the movie changes once the uncle shows up.
Yeah.
And that's before the mom calms her down, but when he shows up, it's like, okay, that's where we're going. And then the uncle has actually a decent dynamic with the family, and it's like, okay, this is fine, seeing the we never see him and he's never met Ruby and her younger brother. Okay, and it's setting up this thing, the generational trauma thing that everyone's been doing.
So funny. I wish he had more lines in
that dodgeball brother.
Yeah.
I did at least like how they used, like, it was really set in modern day times, because they used like the streaming and like the Twitch and the live streaming kind of stuff.
Like Turning Red. And like Mitchell's versus Machines.
Was there that much live streaming in
Turning Red? No, because it's 2002.
Yeah.
Like, people don't have like the smartphones in their pockets to do that.
Yeah.
Mitchell's versus Machines, though, yes.
Yeah, a little bit more so, but I liked that aspect of it, because like you have to reach newer kids somehow, and like a lot of people watch streaming stuff, so that makes sense. But it just didn't say anything. It just didn't mean anything.
It's because it didn't commit to any one thing. That's the primary problem. If it would have been, it feels like they were started writing the story, and then a quarter of the way through it went like, oh crap, we're talking about generational trauma. Everybody's talking about generational trauma right now. We can't do that. Twist villain.
You're right. That is literally what the writers' room felt.
Because if it was like we were talking about, if it was Ruby Gillman is now getting trained to fight the mermaids, that's okay. And then we find out that, what's her name?
Anish?
Ariel knockoff is
I think it was a niche, something like that.
that doesn't make any sense. Maybe
Pretty sure. But regardless, that doesn't.
I'm looking. I hit the wrong.
Ariel knockoff
Yeah.
girl.
Chelsea.
That's her.
Where
that's
did you
her
get a
human name.
niche?
That was her human name.
Yeah, or whatever.
Oh, okay. I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
We'll just say Chelsea.
If it was about like, even if you wanted to throw in like a twist, like Chelsea was originally supposed to fight her for the mermaids having control, and then they came together and decided, you know what, this isn't our war, we want a better way. Like that would have been a much better movie.
For a second, in
They
the
do
back
it
of
for
my
a
mind,
second.
I genuinely thought, oh, I like this idea. I like the idea of both of them.
Well, I mean, they do
turning-
that whole musical number where it's like, we're gonna change.
Yeah.
And I was actually like, okay, I guess if this is the direction, it's
But it's not.
okay. But they don't do anything. And then it ends up being, oh, I'm the villain. It's like, oh, didn't see that coming. Besides the fact you've told us this whole time that mermaids are the villains. That's the thing about, if you're going to do a dumb twist villain, at least don't set up the whole movie as they are evil.
Well, that's why it would be a good twist if she wasn't, and they
Yeah.
chose to be like a different generation, separate from their.
Yeah.
The
So it's like, it's,
the most disappointing thing about this is you can see that it had potential. Like
there's blueprints for something better.
I like the design of the characters. I like the way their legs move. Some of the jokes about not having spines. I can even let go of the fact that no one seems to understand that they're not humans, even though when I'm human and I look at another human, I can tell whether or not it's human. Like, even when I was in high school, I had that
You think
ability,
you
but
might be
like,
able to
I don't
notice.
need them to Pixar this and completely explain that to me. So
I will also say,
it's a little bit like Turning Red and Luca had a baby,
Yeah.
except they left behind everything good in those other two.
the other part that, or at least the grandmama with the emphasis on the second ma, that was just,
Yeah.
sorry, that was dumb to me. That did
Who
not-
was that? That was someone.
Jane Fonda.
Jane Fonda.
Yeah, so all the story, so there's all these storylines going. It's like the mother-daughter thing, which they bring up at the end, is supposed to be a big deal, because then you have the grandmother thing, which is part of like the princess/training thing, because she's trying to get the Triton with the mermaid, and the thing with her friend group, like the falling out, and the thing with trying to connect with Connor and the prom, and there's so,
like,
and
they
then
could-
there's the thing with the captain guy, and there's like 8 things going on at
Or
once.
like, even if it was like her mom put the trident in that area because it was the only way to get to it was for a mermaid and a kraken to work together or something like that.
That
That
would
would
have
have
been
been-
interesting.
That would have been much more interesting.
I also think that just the mom hiding, I don't know. The mom hiding the trident there, it seemed like it was a little, I mean, it wasn't easy,
I mean,
but
it was
felt
for the plot.
a little
That's
too.
I think that's the definition of MacGuffin.
Yeah, it's literally
yeah.
we take the plot and make it into an item to grab instead of making it about characters.
Yes.
And it can work, but not when the movie is setting up different things, and then you get to this like, oh, I guess we're focusing on the MacGuffin now and not the relationship. I think the prom needs to be the first and foremost thing. And it basically is following what Turning Red does of, oh, they want to go to the concert. That is the bulk of the story, is they want to go to the concert, and now this thing has happened. Whereas this should be, she's turning into a giant kraken, dealing with this while she wants to go to the prom, trying to ask this boy out to it. That's simple, and it should work.
Yeah.
But they don't do anything with it, because it should, and maybe if you're going to have the mermaid in there at all, maybe they find out she isn't, like the mom finds out she's a mermaid, and that's why she doesn't she's gonna let her go, and then she doesn't, because like that you can work other things in, but instead it becomes about the MacGuffin.
Yep.
It's frustrating to
just-
see something better.
They just do what Little Mermaid did in reverse, and without a ship.
So they basically did what
No, they
Little Mermaid 2 Return to the Sea did,
Oh my god.
with Ursula's crazy sister.
Basically.
I forgot about that.
Except she's not a twist villain. She's the villain from the first scene.
Oh, it is funny you mentioned the Little Mermaid, because there was didn't the captain like literally say when he caught the mermaid, oh look, a little mermaid. I'm 90% certain he said that.
Are you talking about in the 2023 one or like the
this
sequel?
movie? I'm
No,
talking
this
about this
Ruby.
movie right here.
When he captures Chelsea in the cage at the end.
Yes. He literally says, "Oh look, a little mermaid," or something of that.
I
He
mean, she
says
does
the
look
words.
exactly like Ariel did in the original cartoon.
I know. I'm like, why would you have him say those literal words?
Because it's a reference, and that's all we need to make a movie good. Cites the Mario movie.
The Mario movie was fun. All right.
So was that. So was this. It's a reference to something we love. Mario movie.
The Mario movie at least did it better. This just.
Another big thing about Ruby Gillman is the pacing is so fast. Not only do we have too many moving pieces, they don't develop and nothing like sits.
Do you remember when we were in Bite Sized when we watched an episode of The Fairly Odd Parents, I think for
Crocker of Gold,
remember
yeah.
that. Yeah.
And we said, man, in fact we said that about a lot of those old children's cartoons where it's like it's really fast, but like breakneck pacing.
Gotta keep
To
kids'
me,
attention.
it felt that way.
It's because you got to keep their attention. You got to keep moving, and
In fact,
and it doesn't let anything sit and develop.
and given the end of this movie, I felt like they were setting up for some sort of cartoon.
Yeah, you were saying you were feeling like
television
this should
show.
be a television
I
show.
could see
Like,
that.
it could be a television show where she's just, I'm going to say crime-fighting Kraken, but
A crime fighting
But it'd be she's splitting her time between being a Kraken and being a high schooler.
that has Disney Channel written all over it.
So does. It absolutely does. Thank you. I love a crime fighting Kraken.
Crime fighting.
An undersea crime, I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
just the one part that, like, when I was watching it, I'm like, if this has 10 seconds to breathe and has better timing, it's actually a funny moment, but it's squandered. And it's when the captain realizes that he's been working with two Kraken, that would be the dad and brother, and he goes,
yeah.
"So wait, if that's your wife, that means you're a Kraken. Spare me, Kraken!" And like what I just did had more space than he did, because he jumps right into from
We gotta
a
save-
realization to a please don't hurt me, and he gets hit and like, no time, let's go. And
Yeah,
it's like,
the mermaid. Yeah.
I remember sitting there and doing like one of these where I'm shaking my head like, wow, whoa, that whole like side plot storyline just resolved itself in 2 seconds. What just happened? It doesn't let anything sit. It doesn't let anything develop, and that doesn't mean you have to make it. So I once said, I think I said on Letterboxd, 10-15 minutes. It's not like I want it to be longer, but it needs more time to develop things, and it needs to cut back on how much it's doing.
It is only long enough to be considered a standard cartoon. A standard animated movie, basically.
You compared it to Spirit Untamed, right?
I did. I
Where-
kind of still stand by that comparison.
Which
Although I do
This-
think
this
it's much
is-
better than...
It is
At least
better
than Spirit Untamed.
it's at least
I
a
am
movie.
the
I
train.
am-
Just like she is the Kraken.
Surprise! A bomb.
Surprise! A train. There's your crossover right there.
At least this is a movie, whereas Spirit Untamed literally is a TV show condensed into
It is only
80 minutes.
barely a movie, though.
No, it functions as a movie. It's just it's all bones. There's no meat. It's all bones. It's just all the foundations of a movie on top of other things that would make different movie foundations just stacked on each other. It's a pile of bones. That's what Ruby Kraken, great.
Hey, no,
Ruby Gillman, teenage Kraken.
No. Remember, she doesn't have bones.
Well, she doesn't
Right.
have bones.
Yeah. I will say, just because I don't want to focus all on the negative things, I did appreciate the character design and like how they moved.
Yeah.
Specifically the Krakens.
How they moved was cool, but for me, it was just like the texture of the skin just.
It
felt
just
like
reminds me of the
was-
claymation sort of,
But I think it works for claymation. When you see
Like-
it animated like this, it didn't do it for me.
like the
And
Blue
there's-
Sky Charlie Brown.
I actually never saw that. So
You
I
should.
couldn't-
It's good.
That's what I've heard.
It's the start of that, as we've mentioned on this channel. It's the start of that, like, stylized computer animation that now everyone attributes to Spider-Verse, which Spider-Verse made it more popular, but that Peanuts movie is like the start of the
I would say
major
that
studios
Spider-Verse
doing
is
it.
very different than that, though.
Yeah. It's in that similar vein, though, because there's even a movie before Spider-Verse and after Peanuts movie that's in this DreamWorks catalog. That
Captain Underpants.
It's Captain Underpants. Like I said, Captain Underpants and Peanuts started it. Spider-Verse is the one that got it moving.
Yeah.
Especially with the second one. That's
I would call Spider-Verse a bit more realistic, maybe. Maybe it's just because they portray humans in a little bit
it's less cartoonish.
more
it's more comic
humanity
booky.
to it.
It's more comic booky than because Peanuts, while also being a comic strip, it's much different. It's less realistic and more cartoonish, and it's the same with whereas Captain Underpants is cartoonish books.
Yeah.
So, but that
Are those
but
actually
that's
drawn as cartoons? I've never
in the books. Yeah, there's no color in the books though.
Okay.
So it was always weird to look at the covers of the book that had color, and then when you're reading it, it's just the shade. It's just black and white and gray shadings and whatnot. But yeah.
I wouldn't know. I haven't read any of them.
They're fantastic. That's my childhood right there.
We'll just stick with that's our childhood right there because I haven't read one of those in probably 20 years.
Oh, yeah. Oh, easily.
So it's one of those things we go back, we go, this makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, you're 29. Imagine how I feel.
Yeah.
So I got to ask, where would this be ranked?
Oh, we're already at the ranking.
I don't know. Do you want to rank it first? Do you want to?
Do you have anything more? Does anyone have anything more to say?
I don't know.
I've kind of said my piece about it. Like,
the other thing that doesn't have any...
Coming off of Bad Guys and Puss in Boots, this
was such a drop.
Like, oh.
How did this happen? Because
it makes Bad Guys and Puss in Boots just better, right, in my head.
Yeah, well, we put Puss in Boots, where did we put? 21st.
I don't know how many again?
43. It's in the top half.
Yeah.
And we put Bad Guys in the top 10.
Did we really?
It's 10th. Wow. Yeah. So if you want to pull up the list, we don't have it on our board anymore because we were working through the Pixar stuff.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So pull it up real quick. It's on the That Works spreadsheet you have to go over. So what I'm going to suggest is go to 26 where B movies. That's the B line. It's going to be below it. I'm just saying let's start there just so you're not at the top. It's like, well, not this. Let's start at the B line.
So when I was initially thinking about this, I was thinking somewhere between underneath Captain Underpants and above Ants. And I know you said that you think Ants is better.
I think Ants is a better movie.
Ants is better than movie for me.
It has one goal. It achieves it. It's nothing spectacular. It's nothing bad. It's just
then I'm going to say that this is definitely more entertaining than Shark Tale. It's better looking than Shark Tale.
Yes, it is.
Wait, where's the actual ranking of it?
It's on the right-hand side. You got to scroll past the other
Scroll
things.
past the dates when we watched the movie. Yeah, I spreadsheeted this to death. I'm proud of myself.
Oh,
he's spreadsheeted everything we do on this channel to death.
Oh, yes,
he has a schedule for who buys dinner.
Well, because we never remembered. We'd always be like, whose turn is it? I fixed that. And some of us still don't look at it.
Sometimes. I'll look at it, but I'll read it wrong.
To be fair, it was actually his turn this time.
I was.
That's true. He was. We appreciate that.
But like I said, I'll look at it. I'll just read it wrong. But looking at the spreadsheet.
I think it's above Shark Tale in my head.
You think it's above Shark Tale?
So we'd put it at 36.
It's definitely above Shrek the Third, in my opinion.
That's hard too, because it's like sitting here. It's like I don't like Shrek the Third, but it feels like a more complete movie. Funny enough, I think it's just pieces of it don't work. That hurts. Whereas Ruby Gillman has
but Ruby Gillman looks a lot better than Shark Tale.
Than Shark Tale, yeah. I kind of want to drop Shark Tale under Shrek.
How about we do that? How about we drop Shark Tale to 38, move Shrek up to 37?
I think Shark Tale is better than Shrek the Third. I really do.
It's because you have nostalgia for it and you actually like it.
Yeah.
Which it's like Shrek the Third isn't good, but I don't know. I'm kind of feeling Shrek the Third over Shark Tale.
Can we change the rankings or is it?
Yeah. We've done it before. We did it last episode.
Did we not do it with Chicken Run?
Yeah, we moved Chicken Run last time.
Oh, we did.
Because that's the thing, though. Like opinions change,
right?
And it's not like we're moving them from like 26 to 4.
So let's go from the bottom up. Is it better than Spared Untamed?
Yeah,
I feel like it's better than Monsters vs. Aliens.
See, Ruby Gillman is nothing that tries. MVA is nothing.
Just nothing that nothings.
I feel like it's better than Home.
Because it's not annoying.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Better than Turbo because it's not offensive.
Yep.
Better than Trolls because it's not annoying.
It's not stupid.
If we swap it, I'm going to say it's better than Shark Tale.
Yeah, so I'll move those over if you're watching. So it's going to be somewhere in here. Let me move these down.
This is fun seeing it move on my phone and not even being the one that.
Yeah, so we're in this area of.
So I'm going Shrek the Third, Ruby Gillman, Shark Tale.
Do you have any counter to that, Dickey? I think there's more likable people in Shrek the Third than Shark Tale. I don't really like anyone in Shark Tale, and I think it wants you to like
Shrek
people.
the Third is still ugly looking.
It is. So is Shark Tale.
It's so hard because
Shrek the Third looks bland. Shark Tale looks like, as we said, a garbage disposal. The inside of a garbage disposal.
Shark Tale might be a little bit more fun than Shrek the Third.
That's what was the only hiccup for me.
I would still say that Ruby Gillman is better than Shark Tale.
That's true.
Because I would say I had more fun with Ruby Gillman than Shark Tale.
But I think Shark Tale finishes...
I also think that Shark Tale is a bit offensive as well.
It is. But I think it finishes the story that it's trying to tell, where I don't think Ruby Gillman does.
Ruby finishes it, just nothing happens, really.
Yeah.
Where Shark Tale stuff happens and you hate everyone in the movie. Except Luca the Octopus. Are we putting Ruby Gillman at 37?
I think that's what the conversation is at this point.
So I will write this in right now.
It's like it's trying to rank turds. Like it's really.
So we're just leaving Shark Tale above Shrek the Third like that?
I think so.
Alrighty. So there we go, everyone. Ruby Gillman is in the number 37 spot after Ants and before Shark Tale. There are now 44 movies in the DreamWorks catalog. That's all I have to say about Ruby Gillman. Just lots of moving parts that get no time to develop into a movie that amounts to nothing, but isn't really offensive or annoying or anything. Just good start that becomes. It's kind of similar to for Pixar Lightyear. I think Lightyear's first act is better than Ruby Gillman's.
I would say that as well. Yeah.
But Lightyear becomes nothing with one moving part, whereas Ruby Gillman becomes nothing with 8 moving parts. And that's all I really have to say.
Yeah, I don't have much. I didn't like it.
No, this is boring. This is something I'd put my kid in front of for 90 minutes just to get him to shut up. I'd leave the room.
There's so many better options for that on this list.
Well, no, I'm saying I would put them in front of to watch it, but I would leave the room. I would.
I still say there's so many better options for that. This would probably bore your children.
Yeah. Well, let's get out of this episode. Dickey, do you want the napkin?
I know all that good stuff.
I keep
you can follow us on all of the social medias. We're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook. Should we jump on Threads now? The new Instagram thing?
No.
Did you hear about that?
Threads is a new Twitter thing.
Instagram owned. It's owned by Meta.
Facebook owned.
Yeah,
Maybe don't make any promises now.
Okay. Yeah, we'll see what happens with Threads, but we might be on there, we might not be. We'll see what happens. Because Elon's suing them. But regardless, we are on all the social medias just at, it's a whole thing. At Off Slate Media, TikTok as well. It's very fun. And then, yes, you can listen to us on Spotify, Stitcher, Apple, Google, literally anywhere you get your podcast. Check us out on there. Give us a 5-star rating. It likes to bump us our numbers. And please check out our awesome YouTube channel. You can see our incredible set. You can see our wonderful smiling faces. Once again, at Off Slate Media, comment, subscribe. Please tell us if you like our series, if you have any other series you can think of us do. And another way to always watch it, go to our website, allofslatemedia.com.
Alrighty. It was fun to jump back into this series. This is our first big series. Our next installment in this series will be sometime at the end of the year. Trolls Band Together is the 45th feature-length animated theatrical movie from DreamWorks.
About that one.
Let's go, baby.
It comes out on November 17th of this year. Our video should be out within the next couple weeks or so. It all depends on how hectic our lives are at that point.
You say November?
Everyone look at Dickey.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot of Thanksgiving stuff, so it's going to be about...
There's a lot. That's going to be the next installment.
Yeah.
And all of us here at Off Slate Media for That Works with Jake. I'm Jared. That's Dickey. We'll see you next time.
No, it's Ruby Gillman.
Surprise! It's a bomb! Gotta be faster. Gotta be faster, Jared. Come on, Jared.
Snappy on that.
Surprise! It's a bomb! Whoa! How to get it? Only me. Like I'm the last damn kid.
Still kicking. Still believe. You are what you love, not who loves you. In a
World full of the word yes, I'm here to scream.
No! My soul banged the table.
It's about the only banging you're doing. Okay, Matt Hardy.
That works.
Yeah. Go stop the camera while I recover.
We didn't start to fight.